The Nike Vaporfly Next V3 is undoubtedly a very good racing shoe. But is it as good on the 5K, 10K distances as it will be on the marathon? Is it going to be as good as V1, V2? Which one should you pick? This one or a discounted V2? Let's find out. Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video we have one of the most anticipated shoes and reviews for this year, for 2023. It's the Nike Vaporfly Next V3 right here in my hands, thanks to the efforts of the whole Meta Endurance team and Top4Running, making it possible to have it very early. It will release on March 7 on top4running.com. Don't hesitate to use code META, META, to get your pair of the prototype colorway, this one with a discount. If you apply the code, I think it's going to be 247 euros, which is better than the retail price. You really need to hurry, no pressure, but limited quantities on this colorway. Otherwise, the subsequent colorways will drop a few weeks after that. Let's start directly with the specs and weight of the shoe. I weighted my pair of US 11 at 213 grams, lighter than V1 and V2, around 7 grams lighter than the V2 I have at around 220 grams. And that's good. It's a racing shoe. Lighter is better. Very good. Stack height, and I have no confirmation from Nike nor Top4Running. I will try to put something in the comments once I know the exact numbers, but my guess is 40 in the heel, 34 in the forefoot for a 6mm drop. It feels a bit more flat than the 8mm on the previous versions. It could be again 8mm, just, you know, feeling a bit differently, or today my sensations on today's run, I don't really know. Width of the platform, heel and midfoot, I gotta say are quite narrow in terms of width, and that translates to the stability of the shoe. Forefoot is similar to the previous versions, so no big changes here, but I think the heel and midfoot are a bit more narrow, and again that translates to the stability, to which we'll come here in a minute. Upper and lockdown, let's go directly into stuff I did not like on this shoe. The upper, you know, the material is quite rough. That's okay, not super soft, not super pleasant against the foot. It's one of those very breathable, aerated meshes. You have lots of holes to let the air penetrate in your shoe and have a nice airflow in the shoe for less, you know, less heating, less sweating in the shoe, which is good. But the material isn't super nice against the foot. I struggled this morning when I put the shoes on for the first time for a first run. I didn't use a marathon knot, which you see here on my pair. I went without it. And I had a lot of pressure on the top of my foot with the lacing I had. So I tried to make it a bit less, but then I got some heel slippage. And this is my true to size. Keep that in mind. So what I did is I did a marathon knot and everything was solved. But I think the fit is not like top notch. It's a decent fit if you do the marathon knot, and then you get a better heel lockdown, the runner's knot, sorry. But without it, it's like so-so. So that's, you know, upper and fit I would say are thumbs middle, not necessarily the best in class. It's probably going, in the wrong direction in terms of uppers and fit. V1 was liked by many people, the Vapor Weave upper. V2 a bit less, and now this fly knit upper here on this shoe, I think goes again, maybe not in the right direction. At least that's my personal assessment. Tongue, no gusset in the tongue, of course. A very minimal tongue with only a bit of padding here at the top of it. That's it. You know, heel counter, quite stout. You get a little bit of flex, but that's it. And a nice bolster for padding. You know, the heel lockdown again wasn't great. So let's see how it goes. Just so you know, I only did one run in this shoe with some marathon pace. We're 1 week before my Tokyo Marathon, if you're following that series on the channel. It's a very first impression type of assessment, and you will hear more about this shoe once I have 50-100 kilometers in it. Midsole, very interesting. ZoomX midsole, you know, P-backs from Nike, very popular on the Alphafly, Vaporfly, on the Streakfly, which you have right here, on the Invincible. That's very soft, squishy, bouncy, energetic midsole, the most popular probably midsole compound in the industry, thanks to the Vaporfly success. I feel like we have something softer here, and you could definitely already, you know, stepping in the shoe and walking in the shoe, you can already feel it. You have more compression, more squish in the heel, and that also translates to the ride. The heel is really soft. Not so much in the forefoot. The forefoot is a bit more rigid, a bit more firm. but the heel is really squishy. It compresses a lot with quite some instability and collapsing on the medial side, for me at least. A bit more soft in the heel, that's how I would rate it. It has a nice transition to the forefoot, probably thanks to the plate and probably also with the geometry. It has a better transition at faster paces, which also makes sense because you load a bit more that heel and you move faster to the toe off. Toe off, snappy, aggressive, a bit firmer in the forefoot, so you have something nice to push on. And that's also why I like this shoe, the shoe rides. I was worried that the forefoot would be as mushy as the heel. It is not. And had it been as mushy, I wouldn't necessarily like it because I don't really like too mushy forefoots. This now is a nice combo, especially for heel to midfoot strikers that, you know, excellent marathon type of strike right here and fastly transitioning, very efficient. Forefoot is okay, but you miss that nice, you know, soft heel if that's something you like. If you're a pure forefoot striker, you miss a bit of that heel squish, heel softness. But that's how it is. If you're a pure heel striker and not necessarily heel to midfoot with a fast transition, like really landing on the heel, I fear that the transition will be a bit rough on this shoe for you, and that you may be, you know, better off with another model. Outsole, I don't see any wear, but that's good. After one session, I wouldn't expect to see any. Grip was okay, but you know, the conditions were really good today. So again, only one run. I haven't taken this shoe in wet conditions. I will report back if I have any issues. I expect this shoe to have a good durability because of the nice rubber coverage on the outsole. The midsole compression, I have no idea how it's gonna work. You know, the ZoomX flavor looks a bit like or feels a bit like the Footstrikes ZoomX. So depending on your experience on how the compression and how the lifespan of the ZoomX on the Footstrikes is, you may have something similar here, of course, with a bit more stack height. Last but not least, how would I use this shoe? I feel like Nike made a clear choice going with something for the half marathon and especially marathon distance. It's not as aggressive, not as snappy, not as energetic as V1 and V2, which were very popular across all distances, including 5K and 10K. This shoe doesn't have that ability to go 5K, 10K distances, at least for me and my running style, but I feel it's gonna be the same. Today, I think French athlete Jimmy Gressier PB'd on the 10K with this shoe, but he mentioned he feels more comfortable with the more aggressive V2, which I think is quite interesting. He's a Nike-sponsored athlete, so that's an interesting statement coming from someone like him running a 27:33, if I saw it correctly today. But please correct me in the comments. Price point 260 euros. I don't know the price point in dollars, but I suspect it's going to be $260 as well. It bumped the price, 10 units, 10 euros, $10. Let's see in the dollar price. If you want to save some money on this shoe and you live in the EU, use code META, META on topforrunning.com. It helps the channel, we get a small kickback, and you save some money, so it's a win-win situation type of thing. Thanks a lot for doing that. The link is in the description of the video and maybe even here upper right hand corner. I hope you enjoyed this review. We will certainly compare this shoe against many others. Let us know in the comments which shoes you would like to have a comparison against this one. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and go beyond your limits. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.